Well, a rally is underway to support the family of a man who was shot and killed by a Milwaukee police officer.
Dontre Hamilton was killed in Red Arrow Park earlier this year. The rally moved to City Hall, and that's where our Tom Murray is live. Tom.
At Carol Mike, Dontre Hamilton's family asked for supporters to gather in Red Arrow Park for what they called a mock funeral this afternoon. While demonstrators moved their demonstration, their protest here to City Hall. We're now on the second floor of City Hall outside the office of Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett. Tom Barrett is actually coming out of his office right now with the family. If you could come back out here live. They are coming. You can see Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett walking out of his office with the mother and brother of Dontre Hamilton. This is happening live right now on the second story of Milwaukee City Hall. It looks like Mayor Tom Barrett is going to offer some remarks right now. This is second floor of City Hall. Mayor Tom Barrett.
I had the opportunity to speak to Dontre Hamilton's mother and her brother and his brother, and we had a conversation about Dontre. We had a conversation about police procedures. I want to begin by thanking both of them for sitting down and visiting with me. As a parent, I can't imagine the pain that you are going through, that you've gone through to lose a son. One of the things that they made it clear to me that they're interested in is restoring the dignity of their son, their son's name, several items. When Dontre was not homeless, he was living on his own, as I understand it.
Yes.
And the initial reports were that he was homeless. Second, he was not an armed robber.
That's right. Thank you.
And so I want our community to know that he was neither homeless nor was he an armed robber. He also did not have a long period of mental challenges. He had mental challenges that may have dated back a little over a year or approximately a year. But I want our community to understand this. Again, not homeless, not an armed robber, not a perfect background, if I'm stating that correctly, but he was not an armed robber. And when you lose a son, and I've never lost a child, and I hope I never do, you want people to remember your son for the good things in his life. And I understand why you feel that way, and I understand why all parents feel that way. This was a tragedy. We also discussed some of the police practices. As many of you know, the law was changed in the state of Wisconsin shortly before this incident occurred. And under the new law, there's an outside agency. In this case, it was the State Department of Justice that conducted the initial investigation. Though that report has been completed, it has been turned over now to the district attorney, who will make his decision based on that. I don't know what that decision is going to be. I believe that that decision will come in the relatively near future. I don't know exactly when that's going to come. There's a question about police practice as it pertains to incidents like this. I'm going to have a conversation with the police chief to make sure that I understand what our practices are. One of the things that I have constantly said in our city, I want this to be a city where people respect and trust our police department. I want our citizens to respect and trust our police department. I also want our members of our police department to respect the individuals in this community. I know that being a police officer is a difficult job. It's a very, very difficult job. And it's not a job for everyone. That's why we have to have in place practices and procedures that allow a police officer to be safe, but also help our community be safe. But my most overriding message here, and I really appreciate the fact that we had a chance to talk, is that Dontre will be remembered. And he will be remembered as a son who loved his mother, who was a good brother. And we as a community have to address the issues. And there may be legal issues that come out of this. I don't know where this goes, but I'm a dad. I understand, and I admire your strength for being able to go on. because as a mom, to lose a son, that's something that none of us want to see happen in our lives. So it is my hope that as we move forward as a community, and there are going to be challenges, and there are going to be moments when there's tension, and there are going to be angry people on many different sides. I want our police to be safe. I want our community to be safe. And what I have said over and over again, I want this to be a city where grandmas can sit on front porches in the summertime and watch their kids play and their grandkids play safely in their front yard. And that means we need to have a police presence, but we also need to work together. So again, thank you very, very much for coming in. God bless you all.
Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett on the second floor of City Hall, just meeting with Dontre Hamilton's mother and brother. It looks like the family's going to speak right now. I'll lead up to you guys if you want to stay with us.
Satisfaction to you today to be able to meet with the mayor and to hear his words?
What it does is it keeps the ball moving forward. Right now, he still needs to sit down with the police chief. He still needs to get answers of why this information isn't released. So our battle is far from over because he can't give us that information, but he's going to talk to the police chief and see why we can't have that information. So that's a step in the right direction for the most part. We're going to continue to stand firm as a family on what we believe should be done, and that's the identity of this police officer should be released. The indications of any bruises, redness, or any type of injury he sustained throughout this altercation with Dontre, it all should be known to the public regardless of how long the investigation is going to take. This is Milwaukee, and I feel that Milwaukee is just like any other city in the United States that have gave out those things so far. They gave out the information in Ferguson. They gave out the information in Trayvon Martin's case about his alleged shooter and what injuries he has sustained. So we feel it's only just that we get that same information, the same respect. So right now it's a step forward, but we're not gonna let up until we get that information. We're not gonna compromise until we get that information. We want justice, complete fairness, impartial investigation done. We want that officer, like I stated, we want that officer at home. He shouldn't be working. He shouldn't be able to go to work and perform his job in front of peers when he did something so drastic. Which shooting 14 times is just it's drastic. It's unheard of. It doesn't take that much to shoot a deer. So to shoot a person is just unheard of.
Dontre Hamilton's brother and mother meeting with Mayor Tom Barrett this afternoon and then holding a joint, essentially, impromptu news conference outside the mayor's office where they discussed the status of the investigation into the shooting of Dontre Hamilton.
Mayor essentially remembering the humanity of Dontre Hamilton, saying he was not homeless, he was not a robber, and he did not have a long period of mental illness.
We will take a break and then be right back.